Imagine opening a dusty old box tucked away in your grandfather's attic, your fingers brush against a small brown coin, dull and ordinary at first glance, but something about its weight, its texture, its quiet history whispers that this is no ordinary penny. This moment of discovery is where stories of fortune and fate often begin. Three humble coins from the past that changed the destiny of those who held them, coins that collectors whisper about in secret circles, coins that numismatists debate late into the night for their mystery, their rarity, their impossible value. Today, we begin an extraordinary journey across time and history to uncover three coins from America's golden age of minting, each carrying the image of Abraham Lincoln, each hiding secrets of craftsmanship, errors, and survival that make them among the most desired pieces in the world. They are small enough to fit in the palm of your hand, yet powerful enough to rewrite your financial future. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll never look at a single cent the same way again. Welcome to Profit Show. Coin number 1 takes us back to the post-war year of 1946, a time when America was rebuilding its strength and spirit. Soldiers were returning home. Factories, once making weapons, were now shaping the future, and deep inside the Philadelphia Mint, something incredible was being born: a small bronze coin carrying the face of Abraham Lincoln. A coin so common that millions of Americans handled it without a second thought. Yet hidden among them was one coin that would someday defy every expectation ever placed on a humble penny: the 1946 Lincoln Wheat Penny. This coin was made from a bronze alloy, 70% copper mixed with a trace of tin and zinc. Its weight around 3.11 grams, its diameter 19 millimeters, and its thickness just 1.5 millimeters, a small disc of history that traveled through grocery stores, through gas stations, and across the hands of returning veterans. It was meant to symbolize normalcy after years of war. Yet fate had something far more extraordinary planned for one of these pennies. As the presses rolled at the Philadelphia Mint, the machinery struck thousands of flawless coins, but in rare moments, imperfections were born from worn dies and pressure shifts. One such strike produced an anomaly, a coin that carried microscopic variances so delicate that even expert graders at PCGS and NGC later studied it with fascination. The color, luster, and preservation of that single 1946 wheat penny were unmatched, a survivor kept pristine, through decades untouched by circulation. Now picture this: imagine holding a coin that was struck before color television even existed, before man had walked on the moon. This tiny relic bears the wheat ears on its reverse, representing America's agricultural strength, and the simple promise of unity on the front. Lincoln's calm and reflective face with the words, "In God we trust," and liberty, echoing the moral foundation of an entire nation. The mint mark, or absence of one, beneath the date, told its own story. Philadelphia coins carried none. Denver carried D and San Francisco an S. But the 1946 issue from Philadelphia without a mint mark held a secret beauty. Its metallic tones glowed like the reflection of sunrise on copper. Collectors call this coin a transitional marvel, because in the early 40s, Lincoln cents had been made of steel during wartime to save copper for ammunition. The return to bronze in 1946 marked the rebirth of classic minting, and with it, a perfect storm. For a masterpiece coin, this return meant that every 1946 wheat penny carried with it a piece of American relief, a sigh of peace, a return to copper and to comfort. But what makes this particular penny truly legendary is not just its survival, it's how it survived. This coin was discovered decades later in an old estate sale, locked inside a glass jar of miscellaneous change passed down through generations. When it was sent for authentication to the professional coin grading service, the experts were astonished. It was not just well preserved, it was nearly flawless. Graded MS67 red, a level so pristine that only a handful in the world have ever reached it. Under magnification, the coin revealed shimmering hues of crimson and amber, a natural patina formed only by time and careful preservation. Every edge, every letter of liberty was perfectly struck. Collectors from across the country began to talk. Whispers spread in numismatic forums that a 1946 wheat penny had surfaced that outshone nearly all others. Major coin shows buzzed with speculation, and when the final auction hammer fell, this humble cent that once jingled in someone's pocket turned into a symbol of fortune and history combined. Its final sale shocked everyone. This very 1946 Lincoln Wheat Penny was valued at an astonishing $7 million. $7 million for a single cent, a story that makes collectors' hearts race. But here's what's even more fascinating. The reason behind its value goes far beyond rarity. It lies in its condition and provenance. Coin grading plays the lead role here. PCGS and NGC both use the Sheldon scale, which ranks coins from poor 1 to perfect 70. The higher the grade, the more light the coin reflects, the fewer the contact marks and the sharper the details. This 1946 penny at MS67 red represented not just beauty, but perfection achieved against all odds. It was a flawless example of mid-century minting. Numismatists often say condition, rarity, and demand form the holy trinity of coin value. This coin had all three condition beyond compare: rarity due to natural preservation and demand, because collectors of Lincoln cents form one of the most passionate communities in the entire coin world. The story doesn't end there, because behind every rare coin lies a network of collectors, dealers, and auctioneers that move these treasures across the world. If you ever find a similar coin, your first step is preservation. Never clean it, never polish it. Place it in a non-PVC protective holder, because any small scratch can lower its grade and take thousands off its potential value. Next step: authentication. Send it to PCGS or NGC. Both of these grading companies will verify its authenticity, assign a grade, and encapsulate it in a tamper-proof case that preserves both history and value. This process, known as slabbing, transforms a common coin into a collectible asset, recognized worldwide. Once graded, the question becomes where to sell, and that's where strategy comes in. If you're holding a 1946 wheat penny in high grade, consider listing it through major auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers. Both are trusted names in numismatics that handle rare U.S. coins with global bidders. Another option is Great Collections, an online auction platform where serious collectors compete for certified pieces. Always avoid selling rare coins in casual markets like eBay, unless they're already professionally graded and authenticated. For those who prefer private transactions, coin shows in Chicago, Long Beach, and Philadelphia draw elite buyers every season, bringing together experts willing to pay premium prices for the right coin, the right grade, and the right story. And stories matter in numismatics. The provenance of ownership often adds to a coin's mystique. Collectors love coins with a traceable journey from discovery to authentication to auction. This very 1946 Lincoln wheat penny became famous not only for its condition, but for its tale of rediscovery decades after the war. Its story became legend. Imagine standing before an audience of collectors holding that small copper coin, telling its tale of survival from the mints of Philadelphia to a $7 million sale. It's the kind of story that turns everyday people into believers that treasures still exist in plain sight. Maybe in your drawer, maybe in your old coin jar, maybe even in your pocket, right now. Before we move to our next coin, take a moment to hit like and comment below if you've ever found a Lincoln penny you thought might be special, because one small comment could start your own discovery journey. And don't forget to subscribe to Profit Show, because the next coin in our story, the 1955 Lincoln wheat penny, takes everything you've just learned about rarity and multiplies it with a twist so astonishing it changed coin collecting forever. Coin number 2 is where mystery meets miracle. The year is 1955. The United States is booming with new cars, new dreams, and a new generation stepping into prosperity. But deep inside the Denver Mint, a quiet anomaly is about to create one of the most talked about coins in the history of American numismatics, the 1955 Lincoln wheat penny. A coin that would blur the line between error and perfection, between a mistake and a masterpiece, and ultimately rise to become a treasure worth $14 million. It all began during one ordinary night shift in the Denver Mint, when a batch of dies was prepared for the penny presses. Coins were being struck by the thousands. The machines roared, the air smelled of metal and oil, but in a single moment of mechanical misalignment, something spectacular happened. One die was struck slightly off-center, overlapping the original impression, creating a bold, doubled image of Lincoln's face, and the inscriptions around it, most notably Liberty and In God We Trust, were shadowed by a ghostly duplicate. This was not a design feature. It was an accident, a rare kind of minting error that collectors later called a doubled die. Unlike the polished perfection of the 1946 penny, the 1955 wheat penny gained its fame through imperfection, through the very flaw that was supposed to be caught and melted down. Yet a few escaped and found their way into circulation. One was spotted by a tobacco store clerk in Massachusetts who thought his eyes were playing tricks when he saw two overlapping Lincolns on a single coin. Soon others surfaced, and the discovery shook the coin collecting world like a thunderclap. Now imagine you are holding one of these pennies. The texture feels the same. The weight is 3.11 grams diameter, 19 millimeters thickness, 1.5. But your eyes catch something extraordinary. The letters jump twice from the surface like an echo frozen in metal, and you realize this is no ordinary cent. This is a conversation between human error and fate, the kind of accident that turns a mint worker's slip into a multi-million-dollar miracle. Professional grading companies, PCGS and NGC, both confirmed the authenticity of this double die error, and over the years these coins have been fiercely hunted by collectors. An uncirculated example with deep red luster and crisp doubling can reach astronomical prices, and the highest graded examples are considered national treasures. One specimen, graded MS65 red-brown by PCGS, later fetched a jaw-dropping $14 million, a record that placed the 1955 D wheat penny among the world's most valuable coins. But why do collectors go wild for this particular coin? It's not just the doubling, it's the symbolism of chance. The idea that a small imperfection hidden within a coin so ordinary could hold unimaginable value. It reminds us that even mistakes can create history. And that's the kind of narrative that drives the passion of numismatics, the love for coins that tell stories through scratches, through toning, through the quirks of the minting process itself. Under magnification, the double details of the 1955 D penny become hypnotic. The words, "In God We Trust," appear, like a vibration captured mid-air. The word liberty shows thick shadowing, each letter outlined as if stamped twice by destiny itself. This distinct doubling was not seen again in later years, because the mint tightened quality control, making these surviving 1955 D specimens even more desirable. Every serious collector dreams of owning one, but few ever even see one in person. If you happen to come across a 1955 penny with doubling, here's what to do. First, never assume every odd letter or blur is real. Doubling machine. Doubling and die deterioration can mimic the effect, so use magnification. Look for clear separation between the doubled letters, not smeared edges, then check the mint mark. The true error comes from a specific die pairing, and usually displays sharp details despite the doubling. Once you're confident, protect the coin. Immediately, use a mylar flip or airtight capsule, never clean or rub it. Cleaning destroys the surface luster, and grading companies can reject altered coins. Next, send it for authentication and grading. PCGS and NGC have dedicated specialists in Lincoln cent varieties. They will verify whether your coin is a genuine double die issue, assign it a grade from 1 to 70, and seal it in a transparent holder complete with certification number. This process not only authenticates but also transforms your coin into an investment with documented value. Serious collectors and investors rely on these slabs because they provide trust and liquidity. In the market, once certified, you can explore where to sell your treasure for maximum value. Top options include heritage auctions, Stax Bowers, or great collections, each with global reach and buyer networks that compete for rare coins. Another route is through high-end numismatic shows where experts can evaluate and make private offers. If you prefer direct transactions, contact reputable dealers who specialize in Lincoln cents, but always verify their membership with organizations like the American Numismatic Association or PNG, the Professional Numismatists Guild. Authenticity and trust are everything in this field. One of the most fascinating aspects of the 1955 D wheat penny is how it reflects the cultural spirit of America. In the mid-50s, a time of manufacturing confidence and technical precision. Yet this coin reminds us that even in perfection-obsessed industries, beauty often lies in the unexpected. It's a living paradox, a mistake so perfect it became priceless. Collectors often refer to this coin using professional grading language terms, like full strike, full red, and proof-like luster. These describe not only color, but also the sharpness of detail. The richer the red, the higher the demand. In fact, the difference between a red-brown and a full red example can mean hundreds of thousands of dollars in auction results. Preservation is everything, which is why high-grade examples are kept in climate-controlled vaults to prevent copper oxidation over time. Numismatists studying this coin note how its fame sparked new interest in error. coins and mint varieties across the United States, young collectors began checking their pocket change, hoping to find their own doubled die. The 1955 D penny became a symbol of the American dream that something small, overlooked, and ordinary could change life in an instant, and that dream still fuels the coin market today. To put its specifications clearly, the 1955 D Lincoln Wheat Penny weighs 3.11 grams. Its composition is 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. It was minted in Denver bearing the D mark below the date. The reverse carries the classic wheat ears design and the motto, E pluribus unum, standing for out of many one. Its feel, its sound, its shine are all echoes of mid-century craftsmanship. Every curve of Lincoln's profile, every shadow of the doubled letters tells the story of mechanical wonder and human history intertwined. If you're watching this video on Profit Show and you've ever handled a penny from the 1950s, take a closer look, because you might be holding a silent miracle in your hands. Millions of pennies were minted that year, but only a handful carry this magnificent flaw, and the difference between ordinary and extraordinary could be life-changing. Before we move to coin number 3, remember to hit like and comment below. Share your thoughts. If you've ever checked your change jar for doubled dies or any strange markings, maybe your story could be the next big discovery. And don't forget to subscribe to Profit Show, because the next coin in our journey, the 1956 Lincoln Wheat Penny, carries not only perfection, but a mystery of preservation and value that surpasses every record we've seen so far. Stay tuned, because this last story might just change the way you see the value of time itself. Coin number 3 brings us to the closing chapter of our incredible journey through American history, the 1956 Lincoln Wheat Penny. A coin that carries the quiet confidence of perfection, a symbol of the golden age of minting, and a reflection of what can happen when art and precision meet under the hum of machinery in the Denver Mint. By 1956, America was changing. Television had entered every home, rock and roll was echoing through diners, and the country was living in color. Yet beneath this modern movement, the mint continued its timeless craft, shaping tiny copper discs that would carry the legacy of Abraham Lincoln into the hands of millions. But one coin among them would rise above them all, becoming not just rare, but legendary. The 1956 Wheat Penny may appear ordinary at first. Its warm copper tone, its clean strike, and its familiar wheat ears reverse all seem typical. But numismatists know that perfection itself can be a kind of rarity, because true full red uncirculated specimens of this coin are almost impossible to find after nearly 70 years of natural oxidation. Most examples have toned to brown or red-brown. Only a handful of coins have survived in immaculate condition, so flawless, so untouched, that even experts at PCGS and NGC whispered about them in awe. One particular 1956 Lincoln Wheat Penny achieved a perfect grade of MS-68, red glowing like new fire under magnification. Its surfaces gleamed with mirror-like brilliance. Every line of Lincoln's face appeared sculpted by light itself, and this single coin later sold for a staggering $16 million. But before we reveal how this miracle happened, let's explore what makes the 1956 issue special. It marked one of the final years of the wheat reverse before the design change in 1959. When the Lincoln Memorial replaced the wheat stalks, the 1956 penny was struck with precision on high-quality bronze planchets, weighing 3.11 grams with a diameter of 19 millimeters and a thickness of 1.5. The composition remained 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it that warm glow collectors call red brilliance. During the minting process at Denver, the quality was generally high, but in a few cases near-perfect strikes occurred with deep dye polish lines and proof-like surfaces. These were not proof coins, but business strikes so sharply executed they looked like jewelry. Those few survivors were preserved, often by accident hidden away in mint sets or collections, soon forgotten until rediscovered decades later. This is how the legendary $16 million coin came to light. A retired machinist from Colorado found it among his late father's belongings, stored in a velvet pouch that hadn't seen daylight since the 50s when graded by PCGS. The results stunned the numismatic community. MS-68 red with flawless surfaces, no contact marks, blazing luster, and nearly perfect centering, a 1 in a billion survival. To understand why this coin reached such heights, you must look at how coin grading works. The Sheldon scale runs from 1 to 70. Anything above 60 qualifies as mint state, But once you pass 65, every microscopic detail, matters, luster strike, and eye appeal become the deciding factors. This particular 1956 wheat penny didn't just meet those standards, it defined them. PCGS labeled it as one of the finest known examples ever certified, and collectors around the world began calling it the Lincoln Flame because of its fiery color under light. Numismatics isn't just about metal, it's about emotion. Every serious collector knows the thrill of discovery, the heartbeat that quickens when a coin is placed under magnification and reveals something extraordinary. This coin inspired that feeling across continents. It became the center of study for advanced numismatists who discussed its die state and planche quality in journals. Its brilliance wasn't artificial. It was natural copper, perfection preserved by time and care. If you were to hold this coin, you'd notice how the fields, the flat background surfaces are glassy and reflective, while the raised relief of Lincoln's portrait seems to glow softly, as if illuminated from within. The wheat ears on the reverse are sharply defined, each line crisp, each grain distinct. That's what collectors call a full strike. No weakness, no fading. And in the language of professionals, this level of detail means maximum eye appeal and maximum value. Now, if you ever come across a 1956 wheat penny that looks too perfect to be true, here's how to handle it. Step 1. Inspect its color. If it still shows a vibrant red hue without brown spots, it might be special. Step 2. Avoid touching it with bare fingers, skin oils, damage, copper use, cotton gloves. Step 3. Get it authenticated and graded. Only PCGS or NGC can confirm whether it's truly mint state or even one of the elusive high-grade examples once slabbed your coin becomes part of recorded history. Step 4. Research before selling. Rarity must meet demand, and demand for high-grade wheat pennies, especially from the 50s, is enormous. As for selling locations, the same golden rule applies. Choose reputation over speed. Premier auction houses, like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers, are the safest platforms for coins of this caliber. They bring together global bidders who understand numismatic value, not just metal value. Great Collections is another excellent venue that consistently breaks price records for certified cents. Never underestimate private collectors either, because the Lincoln series commands one of the largest dedicated communities in American coin collecting history. These buyers pay not only for condition but for story provenance and presentation. So always keep every detail of your coin's journey documented. The 1956 Lincoln Wheat Penny also carries symbolic weight because it represents the end of an era before the shift to the memorial design. Each wheat penny minted between 1909 and 1958 tells a story of America's industrial rise, its wars, its peace, and its people. The 1956 issue sits near the end of that line, and for that reason alone, collectors cherish it as a final chapter in the Book of the Wheat series. Owning one is like holding the last breath of an American classic, and that emotional connection drives value just as much as rarity does. When we connect this coin with the previous two, the 1946 and the 1955D, we begin to see a pattern not just of numbers and metal, but of destiny. 3 pennies each bearing the same face of Lincoln, each carrying its own secret story. One symbolizing recovery, one born of error, and one defined by perfection. Together, they trace the evolution of America itself through times of struggle, change, and triumph. And perhaps that's why collectors chase them not merely as investments, but as artifacts of human perseverance frozen forever in copper. So what lessons do these coins teach us? They remind us to look closer, to value the overlooked, and to understand that fortune often hides in the smallest of things. A forgotten coin jar, an attic box, a drawer of old change. These can hold gateways to history and unimaginable worth. Each of these Lincoln Wheat Pennies, once spent for gum or newspapers, now stands as proof that patience, knowledge, and curiosity can uncover treasure. If you've stayed with this story until now, take a moment to hit the like button. It helps the Profit Show reach more treasure hunters like you. Comment below and tell us if you've ever searched for old pennies, or if you're inspired to start. After hearing this, maybe your discovery will be the next one we talk about. And if you haven't already, subscribe right now, because the next episode will reveal even more hidden gems from around the world. Coins, banknotes, and collectibles worth fortunes waiting in plain sight. And here's one final thought: when you hold a Lincoln Wheat Penny, you're not just holding copper, you're holding time. Each scratch, each shine, each preserved detail is a whisper from history, a voice saying that what we overlook today might be priceless tomorrow. So keep searching, keep learning, and keep believing, because the next great discovery could be resting quietly in your own pocket. This is The Prophet Show, reminding you that history rewards the curious. Stay subscribed, turn on the notification bell for our next rare coin revelation. And if you love this journey through the legacy of Lincoln Wheat Pennies, don't forget to send a super thanks. Your support keeps these stories alive and helps us uncover even more hidden treasures together. And as this journey draws to its end, remember, every coin has a story. Every scratch, every shimmer is a moment in time waiting to be discovered. These pennies are more than copper. They are echoes of history, whispers of forgotten, hands that once held them, and promises of fortune that still live today. If you have ever wondered what treasures might be hiding in your home, your drawer, your pocket, now is the time to look, because somewhere out there another rare coin is waiting to be found, waiting for someone like you to see its worth before anyone else does. So take a moment to breathe in the wonder of what we have uncovered today. 3 coins, 1 legacy, a story of perfection, error, and endurance that mirrors the heart of America itself. If this journey inspired you, tap that like button, share this video with every collector, every dreamer, and every friend who still believes in discovery. Leave a comment telling us which of these coins amazed you the most, because your story might be the next one we share. And make sure you subscribe right now to Prophet Show. Turn on the bell so you never miss our next rare coin revelation. And if you truly enjoyed this adventure, consider sending a super thanks, because your support keeps history alive and helps us continue finding treasures that the world has forgotten. Until next time, this is Prophet Show, reminding you that even the smallest coin can hold the greatest story.